Hello everyone, it's Nazadekola. So if you're working in the UK, it goes without saying that you've got exorbitant tax to pay. The basic tax rate in UK is 20%, and that is quite significant. That's a significant chunk of your income going in as tax. And if God help you, your income reaches a particular threshold, then you start paying 40%. Come on, that is massive. Okay. Sadly, there's nothing you can do about it. There's absolutely nothing you can do about that. That is part of the system. However, you can claim back a good proportion of the tax you are paying. Okay. So I'm going to give you a brief of how you can do that legitimately. So there are actually some expenses that are eligible for tax refund. Okay, so in this video, I'm going to be giving you a list of expenses that you can claim tax back on. Okay, I'll be giving you conditions of eligibility as well. Then I'll touch on the flat rate allowances, answer some FAQs. Then, more importantly, I'm going to walk you through a step-by-step process on how you can claim your tax relief, which is very important. And with this, you can save hundreds of pounds. And no matter how huge or how small you are able to claim, I'm sure with this current inflation rate and the skyrocketing bills, it will end up being a significant step for you to take. So sit down and let's get started. So first of all, if you wear uniform at work, you'll be able to reclaim hundreds of pounds of your tax back. That is awesome. It doesn't matter if it's a conventional uniform, like maybe an official uniform, or a scrub, or a branded t-shirt, or any shirt with your company logo on it. As long as you are required to wear the cloth while at work, okay, you are required to put on the cloth while discharging your duty, then you will be eligible to claim tax refund on that. Okay, and obviously this applies to you if you are a uniform officer. Okay, maybe you're a police officer, you're an ambulance crew member, warehouse assistant, you're a mechanic, you're a salesperson, and of course, if you're a nurse, so you'll be able to claim tax refund on your uniform. And I need to say this, by definition, the uniform is not just the shirt and trousers or the dress. Okay, the uniform includes the socks, the tights, okay, then the actual dress. Also, you cannot claim tax back on the initial purchase of the uniform. Okay, so you can only claim tax back on the maintenance and replacement of the uniform. Maintenance, like if you are washing your uniform yourself, if you have to wash your uniform yourself, then you are entitled to claim tax back on that. If you have to replace your uniform yourself, then you are entitled to claim tax back on that. And like I said, if you have to put on your uniform to discharge your duty, it doesn't matter if you just wear it once in a year, as long as you have to wear it in that tax year. So then you are entitled for a tax refund on that. I'm going to be coming back to more details about the uniform very soon. Okay. The other expenses you can claim tax refund on includes your professional subscription. So if you got a professional subscription, like if you're a nurse now, for example, you are registered with Royal College of Nursing, so you've got monthly membership fees that you pay. So you are entitled to claim tax relief on the subscription you are paying. Maybe you are subscribing for nursing standard, or you are a member of Unison, okay, whichever professional body that you belong to, okay, you'll be able to claim tax refund on the monthly or the annual subscription that you are doing on that. Okay, I'm sure a good percentage of the professionals are registered with one body or the other, so that would be a good information that for you. Okay, another expense you can claim a refund on is your professional registration fee. And like the Nursing and Midwifery Council, every year you've got to pay £120, so you can claim tax back on that. For the initial year, I think it's £153, and that applies to whichever profession you are. Okay, so the money you are paying for to renew your license, okay, so it's considered as work-related expenses, and you are eligible to claim tax refund on that. Okay, please note that if your employer they've reimbursed you for your professional registration fee, then you are not entitled to claim it back. Okay, or maybe they've promised to reimburse you, then you cannot claim it back. But if you are sure, if they pay you part of it, then you can still claim, but there is a place where you specify how much you've been reimbursed, and then you can claim tax refund on the balance. Okay, but if they've reimbursed you, then you cannot claim tax refund on that. If you happen to drive your personal car for work-related trips as well, then you can claim tax refund on that. You cannot claim tax refund if you drive to your normal place of work, like your normal place of work, you drive to work every day or whichever day you're on duty. You cannot claim tax refund on that. You can only claim if, for instance, it's not you're on official assignment and you have to use your personal car for that. Maybe you're an health visitor, you have to use your car to drive around or to follow up a patient or what have you, then you can claim tax refund on that. Or even if you have to fuel the car, then you can claim tax refund on the fuel you are buying as well. Okay, so those are just the basic expenses. That there are other ones, but those are the basic ones that I considered are more applicable to majority of people. Okay, so conditions for eligibility. For the uniform, you must wear a recognized uniform. It doesn't matter if you wear it only once in a year. I think I mentioned that already. You have to clean, maintain, and replace it yourself. Okay, you can't claim for the initial cost of the uniform. You can't claim for maintaining uniform if your workplace, they already make provisions for that. Even if you choose not to use it, as long as they made provision for the washing and the laundering of your clothes, then you cannot claim for it. But if you have to bring your uniform home, use your water, your electricity, your washing machine to clean your uniform yourself, then you are eligible to claim tax refund on the maintenance. Okay, and one of the FAQs I've got is about some of my colleagues working in the theater, that they've got to wear scrubs for most of the time, and most of the trust for scrubs, you just drop it in the hospital. The laundry in the hospital cleans it, so you don't bring scrubs home to wash. So, and they wonder if they can claim for tax refund on that. Well, my position is you can claim because you still got official uniform. Like if you have a study day, you have a study day in the hospital, you have other professional assignments in the hospital, you're not going to wear scrub for every other. You can't wear the scrub outside the four corner of the theater. Okay, so, and like I mentioned earlier, it doesn't matter if it's just once a year you wear it. So I'm sure there will be some professional responsibilities that you need to put on the conventional uniform to discharge. Then they give you scrubs. I'm not sure if they give you shoes or tights. They give you socks and all those things to complete the uniform things. So whichever way, just depends on how comfortable you are with that. But I feel very strongly that you are able to claim as well, as long as you have a conventional uniform that you wear for some other work-related assignments, then you are able to claim. Okay. Another condition for eligibility is you must have paid income tax in the year you are claiming for. Okay, so you cannot claim tax back. Obviously, the essence of the claiming is to get back part of the tax that you've paid. So if you haven't paid any tax in that particular year, then you've got no grant to claim anything back. Okay, so, and the tax year here is just April to April, and put it like that. So just April to April. And one of the FAQs I've got again, I think it's best for me to just slot them in now as I move on, so I can save our time. One of the FAQs I've got is, how soon after picking up a job can I apply for my tax refund? Okay, based on this grant, you cannot claim tax refund until you've gotten your first salary. Okay, until you've received your first salary, then you cannot claim the tax back. But if you've received your very first salary, okay, then you've got, obviously that means you've got a tax code, you've got a record, then you've paid tax in that particular, you've registered your name. So it doesn't matter even if it's just the first month of the tax year that you resume duty. Maybe you resume duty April now, so April ending, you already paid tax by April ending, then for that particular year you can now claim for the rest of the year. Okay, so I'm going to walk us through how that's going to apply, that's going to affect your subsequent taxes later. Okay, but the answer will be, you can apply for a tax refund as soon as you have your first salary. As soon as you receive your first salary, then you can apply for your refund. But you cannot do it before that, because there's no way you get a tax code. You don't have a record with hmrc yet, so you can't do that until after your first salary. Then the last condition for eligibility, I mentioned that earlier as well, your employer has not reimbursed you. So I understand that, especially for international nurses, most of the trust, they reimburse you your initial NMC fee. So if you're in that category and they've reimbursed you, or it's on the contract for them to reimburse you, then you cannot claim tax refund on that. Okay, but for the subsequent years, I don't think any trust pays you for your subsequent registration fee. So for the subsequent years, then you can claim tax refund on that. I hope we understand that now. So you might be wondering, how will I know how much to claim? Okay, how much am I entitled to? How much am I eligible to claim? It's a very difficult mathematics to do, because if you bring home your uniform to wash, it's difficult to know the percentage of your electricity that you use to wash it, to know the particular amount you use on the water to wash it and things like that. So it's a very difficult calculation to do. But interestingly, HMRC they've done the hard work for us. So they've done the mathematics and they come back with what they call flat rate allowance. So that flat rate allowance is their own presumption that, okay, for each professional, this is how much they feel you'll be using per year to maintain your uniform. It's not binding. You could claim lesser than that, and you can also claim above that. But if you are claiming above that, then you will need to provide receipts and evidences. Okay. But if you are claiming within the flat rate allowance, then you don't need any receipts. You don't need to give any proof or any evidence to them. Okay. But if you are claiming above, which is acceptable, but if you are claiming above, then you will need to give them evidences like receipts and different things like that. Okay. So for example, now if you're an ambulance staff, HMRC, you've got a flat rate allowance of £185. Okay. For firefighters, they have £80. Nurses, £125 for nurses. The same with dental nurses, £125. Pilots and co-pilots, they've got the highest flat rate allowance. They have over 1,000, I think £1,022 as their flat rate allowance. Okay, catering staff as well, they've got £125. Okay, so if you are a catering staff and you are hearing me, so you've got £125 hanging with HMRC that is waiting for you to come and claim. Waiting for you to come and claim. Mechanics as well. Mechanics, they've got flat rate allowance of £120. Agric sectors, they've got £100, and the list goes all along. Carpenters, they've got 140. Pharmacists and laboratory scientists, they've got £80 as their flat rate allowances. Okay, so if what you are claiming is within that statutory allowance, then there's nothing you need to do other than just to claim it. Okay, and I'm going to show you how to claim it at the end of this video. Okay, you don't need to get any evidence or any receipt, but like I mentioned, if you are claiming above that, then you need to get all your receipts and evidences in place. So if you've been working for maybe the past 2, 3, 4 years and you are just getting this information, you're just watching this video now, you're like, wow, I've missed a lot, I wish I had seen this earlier. I've got a good news for you. You can always backdate your claim to as far as 4 years behind. You can still claim up to 4 years behind. So that's a very good news for you if you've been in the system for 3, 4 years now and you are just getting to know about this. So you've got loads of money hanging, waiting to be dropped into your account. Okay. So how will I get my money? You might be wondering, so how will I get my money? So after claiming, there are 2 things involved. If you are claiming for the current year, so what is going to happen is they're going to adjust your tax code. And by adjusting your tax code, they will increase your allowance in your tax code. They're going to change your tax code, adjust it, and by implication, you'll be paying lesser tax in the subsequent months. So subsequently, you'll be paying lesser tax. That's the impact that is going to have on your tax. Okay, then you see a slight increase in your take home at the end of the day. For instance, maybe your standard tax has been maybe £100. Okay, so now that you've claimed and they adjusted your code, so subsequent months you might be paying 90 or 92, or it depends on how much you are claiming. So you'll be paying lesser tax subsequently, and that will be equivalent to a significant increase in your take home at the end of the day. But if you are claiming for the previous years, so there are two things involved. They can also factor that into your tax code, okay, and that means you are going to see a massive reduction in the amount of tax you'll be paying, okay. Also, they can decide to issue you a check, and then you can cash out the check. Maybe one day you are just minding your own business and you receive a check from hmrc, then you go and cash that into your account. Okay, a colleague of mine recently received, she was just minding her business, then she just got a check through her box. I think it was about £850. Okay, that is huge. Okay, so it's a good thing for you to claim what is yours. So lastly, I'm going to be showing you how to claim your tax refund now. So I'm going to just share my screen with you and walk you through how to claim it. There are different ways you can claim. You can claim online, which is what I'm going to show you how to do now. You can decide to give them a call. You can claim over the phone, okay. And if you are shy and you just feel shaky if you are talking, then it might be a good idea for you to just do it online and get it done. You can also do it by post. So there's a form, P87 form, that you need to fill. You're going to request for the form, so they send the form to you, then you fill the form and post it back to HMRC, and they're going to implement your tax refund. So if you are claiming for more than 5 years, then you need to use the form. You can't do that online. You need to use the form. If you are claiming above £1,000, if you are claiming above £1,000 as your total tax refund, then you need to use the form. You cannot do that online as well. Okay, so you can only use online if you are claiming within 5 years and you are claiming less than £1,000, then you can use the online form. So I'm going to show you how to do that now. I'm going to share my screen with you. So what you need to do is to go to gov.uk, which is the official website, and then you can type in tax relief in the search. Tax relief. And the first option that comes out, claim income tax relief for your employment expenses, P87. That's exactly what we are looking for. So you can click on that. When you scroll up, you're going to see how to claim your tax relief on work-related expenses. You can claim by post, by phone. So I'm going to just walk us through how to claim it online. I'm going to click on claim using online. Then you sign in using government gateway. If you haven't got a government gateway before, then you need to create one. You can see create sign-in details just below the sign-in button. Then it's going to ask you for your email address, then you can continue with that registration for a gateway. But I have gotten one, so I'm just going to sign in. So now I'm into my personal tax account, the home page. And they are just reiterating the conditions here for you. You can claim back employment expenses, your employer hasn't paid back all of your expenses, then allowable one is 2,500 for the year. You've paid tax during the year you are claiming for, and you haven't completed the self-assessment, that means like you are not self-employed. So start now. Have you previously claimed tax refund on your employment expenses? If yes, then you pick yes. If no, you pick no. So for the purpose of this, if you pick yes, have your employment expenses changed since your last claim? Like what has changed since your last claim? Then you let them know. Probably your subscription increase, your membership subscription increase. Like for RCN now, you start the first year with £8, then subsequent years you pay £16. So if that has changed, then you can come back here and just update the details. Then they ask you for your address. The HMRC will like to contact you, so they ask for your phone number and when best to call you. So as you can see, you've got 5 tax year here to claim from. So the first one is the current year, then you can go as far as 2019. Sorry, you can go as far as 2018, 2019. Okay, that's just 4 years behind. Okay, so we'll be starting with last year, just as a sample now. Last year, then they will ask for your employer's name. I'm sure you know your employer's name. Then the employer's payee reference, you can get that on your payslip. That's tax office reference, so you can copy that. So this page will be asking you, do you want to claim the flat rate expenses? So yes or no. So if you pick no, then it's going to be asking you your type of industry, like where do you work, then the amount you are claiming for. Okay. Then at the end of it, you need to provide some evidences. Okay. So, but in this situation, I'll just pick yes. So then it's going to ask me my type of industry. I can see healthcare nurses here. So I pick that. You can see the flat rate coming up. That's £125. So if I'm claiming within £125, then I don't need to worry about giving any evidences or any receipts. So of the £125, how much are you claiming? Are you claiming the entire £125? Are you claiming part of it? I definitely will claim all. Okay, so that's registered. Then for the mileage allowance relief, that's if you are using your vehicle for work purpose. Please note that you can't claim for traveling to where you work, except it's a temporary place of work. Okay, so do you want to claim tax relief for using your own vehicle for work? If you say yes, then you have to choose the type of vehicle you're using, and they ask you for the mileage and different things like that. But in this situation, I just pick no. Fuel expenses from a company car. Am I using company car but I have the responsibility to fuel it? No. Travel and overnight expenses. Probably you go for a work related trip and you've got to sleep over. You booked hotel, so in this situation I'll pick no. If you're a nurse and you do night shifts, that does not apply to you. Okay. Then professional fees and subscriptions. Have you paid professional fees or subscriptions? Yes, definitely. So I'll start. You can claim as many professional fees here. So I'll start with the Nursing and Midwifery Council. Okay. So you can see Nursing and Midwifery Council relief is allowable under something there. So you just click that. Then amount paid by you, amount you paid. In my situation, I paid £120 every year. Amount repaid to you by your employer. So if your employer has paid part of it, then you need to let the HMRC know. But in my situation, they've not paid anything for me. So then another subscription will be Royal College of Nursing subscription that I'm doing. So I think it's better you just type nursing, then it's going to come up with yeah, I can see that that's Nursing Royal College. Then amount paid by you. I'm paying. If you want to know how much you're paying, you need to do some just a quick mathematics. If you are still in your first year, then you are paying £8 per month, £8.20 per month. Then you need to know how much of the tax year do you still have left. Then you don't do the multiplication. And if you are paying £16.40 per month, if you are claiming in April, then that will be £18 by 12. Okay, but if you are claiming in maybe February, then you've got just 2 months left. Okay. Using your home as office, I'm just going to click no here. Do you want to claim tax relief on any other allowable expenses? No. Some employers, I understand, they give general expenses to their staff. So, but in my situation, I've not received anything like that. So I'll pick no. So I'm claiming a total of 323 altogether now. Okay. So you need to know it's not like they're going to refund me 323. They're going to be refunding you the same percentage of tax you paid on this. So if you paid a basic rate of 20% tax, then they'll be giving you 20% of 323 you are claiming. And if you are claiming for more than 1 year, maybe you are claiming for 4 years, so that will be 20% of 323 by 4, or by the number of years you are claiming for. Okay. So this is where you can add another employment or add another tax year. Okay. So you can choose another tax year. The last time we picked 2021, 2022. Now I just picked 2022, 2023. Then you go through the process all over again to register that. Then you can always go back and pick other years as well. Then you submit, and that is that. It takes maybe just less than a week for HMRC to implement this. So I'm just going to delete this because I'm not planning to submit anything. So I hope you find that very helpful. Yeah, and let me know in the comment section if you manage to claim some and it ended up being successful. Just let us know. Okay, and if you are hearing this for the first time, you can let us know as well. Okay, so don't forget to subscribe and follow us. Use the notification button so you can be notified anytime we have other helpful contents for you. So that will be it for now. I'll see you in my next video. Cheers, everyone.